I'm thrilled to be joined by you today, Kelsi Mayne. You're a rising Canadian country artist from Windsor, Ontario. You just released a brand new single. Kelsi, how's it going?
Oh, I am fabulous. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic myself, too. So, For the Record, new single, just released. The song's already been streamed over 75,000 times. It spent 3 weeks on SiriusXM's The Highway, landed you on some premium playlists on Apple and Spotify. So you must be pumped with the reaction to the song already.
That number has now doubled pretty much.
Oh, wow.
So it's insane. Yeah. And I've never had anything like this before. And it's just like a perfect storm. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just so cool. It's been a long time coming. So,
well, congratulations on that. But let's peel back some of the layers of this song, because it definitely stems from some emotional times in your life. So it starts with a whirlwind romance that followed a broken engagement. So maybe take us through that story a bit, Kelsi.
Well, so I was with someone for 10 years, and then I found out some things, and I said, I'm not going to stick around and stay for that. So I left, and then I wanted to wait, like everyone was saying, like, wait a year before you get into anything else. And I was planning on doing that, but only like 4 months later, I met someone who came into my life, and he was very, very persistent, and he was coming from a similar place. Like, he was coming from an 8-year relationship. So it just seemed like it was meant to be. And I've heard stories of like people meeting like very soon after coming out of a marriage or like another long-term relationship, and then like finding their person like immediately. So I feel like it was like kind of that like fairy tale story that I think I really wanted to happen, and he was saying all the right things, but then it just kind of unraveled the longer I was with him, and found out some things that he had to deal with still, like addiction and stuff like that. And so we took a break, and then under that break, I thought, you get better for yourself, and then we can revisit and pick up where we left off. And then he did get better, but then he ended up finding someone new. So it was unexpected, and but at the same time, I think everything happens for a reason, and that's very much what this song is about. It's about, at least I got some really good songs from it. If anything, I got some really good songs. So I feel like that was the purpose of me going through all that.
No doubt. So that was obviously some deep things to deal with. So tell me, when it came time to recording the song and writing this music and getting behind a microphone, what kind of emotions were you feeling when it was taking those moments and those feelings and creating music with it?
This song is kind of like, I got to get out my anger a little bit with this one, because there is a whole mix of emotions, and I just wanted to kind of like be that strong person that I think a lot of women can relate to when we come into situations like this. And sometimes you just got to pick up your feet and just like, trudge through it and just get through it. And that's what I feel like this song kind of did for me.
So I'm always curious how artists feel about this. So obviously your music, with this song was probably a therapeutic outlet for you to tackle some of the circumstances that you went through. And now you have this great tune to show for it, For the Record, that I'm sure you'll be singing and performing for years to come. So I've seen another great Canadian singer-songwriter, Alanis Morissette, talk about this. But for you, Kelsi, will playing For the Record, say 10 years from now, will that be kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off and kind of stirring up some of those old memories?
I think it'll always kind of stir up those emotions. And you know what? I think that's what art is. And if you're not authentic, if I feel like the audience can tell when it comes from a genuine place, or if it's, maybe written by somebody else. And so you can tell when the artist connects to something, and when I feel like I connect to it, I don't know, it's just kind of like a community to live experience with everyone, and we kind of share the same feelings, and it is kind of healing. I think it is therapeutic, I think, for everyone.
Yeah, and it'll be a part of your story, and you can as you grow and you carry on, that'll be it's always important, I guess, to remember things that you've been through and that you've been able to fight through, right?
And I think the more that it connects to other people, and the more success that this song has, it's just like, it feels that much better, because I feel like everyone else is also a part of, like, this is like my comeback story. I feel like this song, and I feel like everyone else who loves the song with me is part of my comeback story. So it's cool.
Right on, absolutely, and especially with all music, but especially country music. The lyrics. Often people can relate to them, right? And maybe they haven't went through the exact same thing that you went through, but a similar situation, that when they see you singing and making that comeback, as you mentioned, they can, it makes them feel good, right?
Yeah. Well, and then there's this lyric that I have in the song. So this song is written by songwriters for other songwriters and music buffs, and it's actually about a songwriter, so it's very like convoluted. But there's a lyric in there that it references Stevie Nicks, so there's like a backstory to it. So I say, B-side spinning on repeat and turning tables on my feelings, how the needle stings a deeper cut than Silver Springs. And Silver Springs is the song that Stevie Nicks wrote about her relationship with Lindsey Buckingham, and how she was still in love with him and he was moving on in his life, and it was about their relationship. And Silver Springs never made it to the A side. It was on their B side of the Rumors album, but when they played it live on MTV in 1997 on a reunion show, that's when it started to take off and go viral. And it's going viral right now again, and in a little like soundbite on TikTok and Instagram. So it's that time casts a spell on you, but you won't forget me. And then so it's about that, like, yeah, you're moving on, but I'm still going to linger. You're still going to hear my voice. And it's very much that kind of same emotion that I wanted in this song. So it fits perfect.
That's amazing. And as a reporter, journalist, it's always like a good checkbox when you're interviewing a singer and she starts singing during the interview. So Kelsi, thank you very much for sharing that with us. That's beautiful. Thanks for sharing the story about like the inspiration behind this song. But let's talk about some of the technical parts of the song. And it was mixed and mastered by Scott Cook. But maybe talk to us a bit about the recording process, where it took place, and who else was involved with making the song happen.
Yeah, so the songwriters on it are, so I have KD Amond, who's my oldest friend here in Nashville. And so I've known her for like 10 years. And I took this idea to her and I was like, will you help me write it? And she said, well, let's get my two other friends in. So there's the four of us. And it took 3 different days to write. So that alone in itself is like kind of an anomaly, because usually if something takes over like a day, it just goes to die. But we just felt like there was something there that we had to go and chase it down until it felt right. So I'm so glad we did that. And then after that, then I took it to one of my other friends recommended a producer here in Nashville. His name is Brendan St. Gillet. It was my first time working with him. I told him my vision for the song, and what I did was I took Eric Church's Homeboy, and I repitched it to the key that I wanted this song to be in. And I took a karaoke version and I sang over top of it. And I said, if we can, like, this is kind of the emotion and like the progression that I want to see. And he was like, perfect. And then so I was just sat with him in the studio while he was just trying new things and working it out. And he played every single instrument except the drums. And then the drums, I took it to Jared Neal, who's a session player here. He's very, very talented. He's played on like everything. So he played on my other record, All or Nothing, as well. So yeah, it was just like Brendan just astonished me with his production, because he's like, I'm not really a guitarist. And then he like throws down this crazy solo, and then he turns to me and he was just like in the zone, and it was so cool to witness. But he turns to me and he was like, I will never be able to recreate that. So I was like, perfect. We got it.
Hopefully he was hitting the record button at that time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So, so for the record, it definitely carried on the momentum. You closed out 2025 with that, and it's carrying into 2026. But another single, Someone Who Knows, really built that momentum for you throughout last year. Tell me a bit about that song and what that did for your career.
Yeah, that one, I think that one was the first time where I actually got to be vulnerable for my audience, and because I was pretty quiet about everything that actually happened and everything that I went through in 2024. And then I wrote about everything in 2025 and recorded it. And then now, well, in 2025, that's when I started releasing it. So I still have more songs to come that are about and stem from everything that I went through. But yeah, so Someone Who Knows kind of was like the very first one that kind of kicked it off for me. And that one was, I felt really, it's always nerve-wracking, when you bare your soul to the world and you just want people to like it and to accept it. And, if they didn't like it, then it'd be like, oh man, then it would be a double whammy. I went through all that and you don't like the song, but luckily that wasn't the case. And I think it was just a song that I felt like I needed to write because I didn't know of any other songs like it out there. I felt like the world just needed a good message and just something about the proper values that you need to maintain in life and how to treat other people and just the values that you should live by. And I just wanted something out there that reminded people of that. So
you mentioned that you have more songs to write, and we've talked in depth about a couple of tunes. From what I understand, 2026, there might be a bigger project on the way.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. I have so many songs, Aaron. So I'm trying to just figure out. I think it's going to be an EP in June, but it might turn into an album. I don't know. Or maybe 2 EPs or something like that. But something is going to be, I'm going to come out with a product or a finished package of things in June for sure. So,
well, as a singer-songwriter, having too many songs is probably a good problem to have, I guess, right?
It's a good problem, yeah.
No doubt. So one of our reporters, who's fantastic, Whitney South, you chatted with her last summer. She captured your set at the Boots and Hearts Music Festival in Burroughs Creek, which was fantastic. So can we expect some more tour dates in 2026 as well?
Yep. I have to keep my mouth shut right now. I can't announce any of them at the moment, but I got some big ones. I'll be in Canada this year. So
right on. Well, we'll look forward to that, Kelsi. And thank you very much for sharing all these stories about your new songs and your music. We'll look forward to your new project in June, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the road really soon.
Thank you so much. Can't wait.